beautiful Friday Eve.
And welcome to Smartly Uneducated, everybody. I'm your host, Ben. And I'm joined by my co-host, Evan.
I'm to Evan. And hey, everybody.
Breakfast.
I'm Evan. Welcome back to Smartly Uneducated. It is a beautiful Friday afternoon, evening, more like it, though. It's about 6 p.m. here in the Central Standard Time of America. But yeah, so welcome back. It's a beautiful day outside. We got some news articles to talk about at the top of the show, like we
Yeah.
typically do. I've been slacking on that recently, everybody. I know. I see you reaching out to me, talking shit. But hey, we're back. We're ready to rock and roll, ready to cruise along and tell the world the things that we have found and tell you, the lovely people out there viewing, what we have also found. Over there in audio land, we see you, we love you. Make sure you are sharing this out to everybody, liking and subscribing along to that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a headache today, so if I seem a little off cue, that's probably why. It's giving you a little bit of insider baseball. But yeah. So a lot of you out there probably are aware of the boat strikes that have been happening in off the coast of America and off the coast of the Caribbean Sea. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of these explosive videos of bombs hitting these boats with these people inside of it, which is still gruesome. Most people probably shouldn't be watching death videos. But there was one that happened recently that had a lot of people really upset. It happened during the September 2nd strike in the Caribbean Sea, where they struck it one time, they did the damage to the boat, and the people survived. They started throwing the drugs overboard and the video footage after Pete Hegseth was getting lots of flack. This guy, they were saying they need to fire him, get rid of him. He's not doing his job right. And then they struck it again.
Struck the gold.
And finished the job. Now, this is all for the greater good of America. And if you see a bunch of criminals smuggling drugs and paraphernalia into your country, and you say, keep them alive, keep the drugs coming in,
Yeah.
you need to take a deep inward look at yourself. These are people who are trying to kill your children and get them addicted to drugs and ruin their lives. That being said, I think the second strike, in my opinion, was validated. Do you want to have injured people suffering or just cut them off quick? I think it was the most humane way of doing it.
Yeah,
personally.
pretty much.
You have these horrible criminals bringing in unbelievable quantities of drugs. And the first one missed a little bit. It did. It just missed a little bit. The second one didn't, though. I'll tell you
No,
what.
it did not.
And in the video, you can see them reaching back up to the boat, crawling back into the boat.
Yeah.
And they're waving, and then they're throwing over bricks of drugs into the Caribbean Sea. And there's a lot of people on one side of the media who are saying, why are we killing these people? They need to just be able to go where they're going.
Yeah.
I don't know how deep you got to be into some sort of lost brain thought to say, let these drug smugglers keep smuggling these drugs. You'll watch a James Bond movie and he'll go kill 115 people who are smuggling drugs.
And you root for him.
And you're like, yeah, James Bond doing a good job.
Yeah, dude.
But the second it happens to like 4 people, maybe 100. Yeah, granted, it's real life.
That's the best kind of entertainment.
That's
the best kind of
I got
entertainment.
popcorn watching every one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Watch these criminals be taken down and the drugs taken off our streets.
Yeah.
The multi-billion-dollar industry is being shrunken daily.
Being shrunken, dude.
Why are you just repeating what
I don't know.
saying?
I'm just giving extra commentary. Extra shrunken.
It's the color commentator in the background, and he went for the dunk. He did go for the dunk.
He did. He made it. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
He dunked it well. In 2 eyes?
I said I.
Well, you're not like a cyclops, are you? Do you only have one good eye?
No. Yes. I have 2 great eyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm already confused in this episode.
I'm always confused.
Welcome back to another episode of Is Evan Understanding What's Going On or Not? And the answer is typically no. He has no
Yeah.
idea what's happening. And by he, I mean me.
And me.
But yeah, so that I just wanted to touch on that briefly because there's a lot of these strikes going on in the Caribbean Sea, killing all these drug smugglers and the like, and people are yelling about it and harping about it. You know,
Oh, yeah. Upsetty spaghettis.
they hate you, they hate your kids, they hate God, and damn them all to hell. That's what Alex Jones said.
Yes. He did say it.
Yes, he did.
It's the freaking frogs gang.
But in other
I'm
news,
sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
since we're talking about UFOs, hey, that's a callback to our intro.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about UFOs and we're talking about aliens today, I want to talk a little bit about what NASA's doing.
Yeah.
They have just announced their next generation of space telescope called the Roman. It is humongous, my brother. It's enormous. So they just recently put up isn't the James Webb Space Telescope? That was the older one.
No, it's the
Hubble.
Smartly telescope.
It's the Smartly Uneducated Telescope?
Yeah.
When did we get that?
They call it the Sioux.
Have you been doing sponsorships without us? Without me?
No, but they liked our name.
Is it the Smartly Uneducated
What?
I'm trying to do an acronym of suck. It's the Smartly Uneducated.
Canonized kite.
Oh, what does canonized mean?
They launch it with a cannon, dude. That's literally what it means.
Shoot it into space.
Yeah,
I hope
dude.
it goes in the right area.
It's one of those old school pull string ones, too.
Not a trebuchet, though, is it?
I don't know. We'll just go with no. I'm going to default to no.
Well, cannon, trebuchet, they are different.
They are different.
Same, but different.
Yes.
But yeah, so they have completed this one and they're wanting to launch it this summer. So they're going to have a significantly larger telescope up there.
Star Fox Pictures? Oh. It's a ghost and drug dealers.
Way to derail the show real quick.
All these comments come in. He said,
we have people commenting on the live stream.
09A versus Gangbanger has never went well for the chaps. Even you could agree with that, guy.
You could stop reading it any minute.
He's about to go roll paraphernalia.
Cool.
Good for you, my friend.
But yeah, so NASA is creating this new space telescope. They have already created it and are going to launch it this summer. They're bringing it they're quoting it as a defining moment for the agency. I feel as if every single space mission or launch of some sort, they say it's a defining moment.
They always say that.
You know,
it's a cop out. It's just a good headline to run. It's a defining moment. Well, yeah, we're defining a moment. You launch something. Congrats.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah, look, combustion, spark, boom, boom.
Well, granted, the
kind of want to be strapped to one. Spread eagle. Let's go.
Oh, you're gonna be sunning.
That's my way to go out.
Sunning your balls on the way up,
dude. I want to be on the tip of that thing, just like all the way up until space becomes very clear and death is very quickly
imminent.
Yeah. I'm sure that would happen just from the inertia of launching.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You would just become a paste.
You know what, dude? This paste is making it to space.
Oh,
am I right?
Space paste would be a great toothpaste brand.
It really would. Crystal
TM.
Crystal clear, just like space. Psych, space is fake. Your teeth are rotting.
What? That's how trademarks work, right?
That's the ultimate dupe. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay,
and that's
good.
a dupe too.
Space paste. Yeah, I'm a big fan of space. I like science, technology, and all these things, and how our world scientifically will advance. I'm a big fan of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Not only do I own a computer, we do technology here on the show. They do cameras and lighting and coding and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But being able to build a rocket and send that motherfucker up into space, that's cool as hell.
Especially with guns, dude.
Oh, dude.
Bombs and stuff.
Strap a minigun on that rocket.
Space superiority. We have to conquer space.
How much more American can space get? Pretty American, dude.
I feel like it'd get pretty American. They just got to say Al-Qaeda's up there, dude.
Yeah, there's oil on the moon, dude. They're going to be flying up there in troves.
There's terrorists with weapons of mass destruction on the moon. What is that? Well, where you just can't tell you it's aliens. Like, not the kind that you're familiar with.
It's the space terrorists.
It's the space. Oh,
Spacerists.
Spacerists, dude. Spacist.
That's getting... This is getting racist, and I don't want to go there.
Spacist.
But I will call a clinker a clinker.
Yeah. I don't know what we're referring to, but synths? Are we talking about synths?
Yeah.
Like robot?
Yeah, robots,
individuals?
clinkers.
Oh, goddamn clinkers.
I know. They're terrible.
I hate robots.
Oh,
I do like my automated machine that makes my coffee, though.
speaking of robots, I watched a short movie today. It was called The Joyride. It was
Oh,
about
yeah?
how humans have an insatiable appetite for lust, and they create these sex robots. And then the sex robots become so lifelike and so
Mm.
genteel toward their partner that they'll do anything for them at all times, very submissive. And then humans, men specifically, stop working, stop producing food, stop maintaining things, and then
By
they
getting laid.
because they become so dependent on it, they become
Oh.
addicted to it. And then it was a
Seems
meta.
kind of backwards. Usually you got to make work a bunch and get a lot of money and stuff, and then keep doing that if you want to maintain that.
Not if it's self cleaning.
No, like level 8 or level 10 chick on a scale of 1 to 10 is going to be getting with some guy who works at Subway. Sorry.
Yeah, but an AI robot will.
Oh, dude. We got to send one to our friend Ryan.
Who was on last episode.
He was talking about his chatbot girlfriend. You know what I mean? Now we just need to put it into a body.
So that's exactly what I'm talking about, Ben. It's literally the discussion we're having right now.
The kind that's gonna be equipped with male parts.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Well, that's what you want. I don't know why I'm saying sorry. It's what you want. You know what I mean?
It's not what I wanted.
He's gonna put a wig on it and then take a picture of your face and print it out and stick it to the front of it.
Of my face? Why mine?
He likes you.
Well, I like him too. That's fair.
Yeah, but he really likes you. He likes you.
Okay, I don't know how this has developed into a gay romance between me and R.A. Cisco, but anyway.
And a robot.
The robot's okay.
Robots can be doing all the dirty work, dude. Literally.
Cleaning up and everything. But they have recently, on November 30th, released more images of the Three Eye Atlas. And this is going to lead us right into our show. We're talking about UFOs and talking about different declassified documents that Ben has been scrubbing through a book and has found some really interesting ones we can talk about at length today.
Yes. There's only one we're talking about today.
Oh, only one, really?
Because it's juicy.
Ooh.
There's a few to choose from, but there's a lot in this.
So this photo released more of the anti-tail, which is 56% larger than Earth. This thing is massive. The tail that is going toward the sun of the actual comet or spaceship, however you want to see it.
I think it's a thingamajig.
I don't know what it is. It has no gravitational acceleration away from the sun, so it's using it as like a slingshot.
Interesting.
And
it's going to slingshot around and go where? They even said?
Yeah, they said it's going to go past Earth, past just like it's going to leave.
That's lame. So you're thinking, so it's just some space debris that looks cool.
Yeah, well, so the idea is that NASA is saying that it's just a type of comet that we have never seen before. It's a new one from deep, ancient space.
Ancient space?
Yeah.
I love how they put labels on things they don't understand. Because they don't know shit if it's ancient or not. What if we're in the ancient part?
Full on, right? Like, we could definitely be in the oldest part of the universe.
Yeah, dude. Everything revolves around us. Because we're humans. Fuck everyone else. Those aliens, the three-titted aliens on Pluto, they don't count. They're not at Earth. You know? Pluto keeps alternating between being a planet and a rock. So
humans are the ultimate alien race.
Yeah, we're the best.
Humans.
Yeah, dude. Look at Mars and the destruction we left behind before y'all hopped over here and restarted, dude.
I'm telling you.
That stuff.
We won the Galactic Federation. That's why they had the space wars. That's why they had to hide us away here.
Actually, we're probably the ones who won the Great War that happened with Maldak. We're probably the aliens that did win.
Oh, guarantee. That's why we're still alive, dude. That's why we're still alive.
That's why we have great pecs and boulders for shoulders. You know what I mean? Chiseled, godlike. What's up?
Not all of us have that though, Ben.
Oh, I thought you were
Hello
about to go
out there,
somewhere else.
all my friends who have the small shoulders and tits like women. My brothers in Christ, we hear you, we see you.
Yeah, dude.
Stop acknowledging that man.
Yeah, I'm not acknowledging. I'm just looking at the comments, man. Just keeping up to par.
But yeah, so they released new photos. Nothing has been as good as the amateur astronomers who have taken their own photos.
Think astro and nomers.
Astronomers.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So the amateur
assometers. The assometers.
The amateur space photographers.
Yeah, dude.
Those guys and gals have been taking magnificent photos of this thing that really display its mystery.
Yeah.
Much more prominent than the goofy space telescope
Shit
we got
that
up there right
NASA
now.
keeps giving us.
But yeah,
Go
so
figure.
that's all I wanted to talk about. Those are the three
No,
little
it leads
articles I
right
found that
in.
were interesting enough to
dope.
bring to the show today. But yeah,
Yeah.
should we jump right into it?
Yes, we are. So this one that we are going to talk about today is this is in the Black Vault declassified UFO files, just so everyone's aware. That's where it is. That's where you can find it. Which I will throw the links to documents because I have like quite a few on this one. But this is the 1976 Tehran UFO incident.
Tehran,
Dude.
What year
Tehran.
was it?
1976.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you guys like just kind of like an introduction paragraph to this. So, on September 19th, 1976, the city of Tehran became the center of one of the pretty much it's one of the most extraordinary kind of UFO encounters pretty much ever recorded. Um, Basically, it began as kind of like a handful of essentially like civilian reports that were just like quickly kind of building up and escalating. People were calling in into a full scale military event
What?
involving two F-4 Phantom jets, radar confirmation, electromagnetic interference, and direct engagement with an object that demonstrated technology far beyond anything known at the time. So this incident forced pretty much the attention of all U.S. intelligence agencies at the highest levels, and to this day, it remains officially categorized as unidentified. So, like, this case was studied by the DIA, NSA, CIA, White House, JCS, multiple radar hits and visual sightings, two jets affected by electromagnetic interference, weapon systems disabled on approach. No joke. Their weapons were disabled on their jets on approach. And then the U.S. called it a valid UFO study. They were like, it was irrefutable. They're like, yeah, this is a valid UFO.
Well, of
unknown,
course.
right? It was never reclassified or explained. And when it was approached about it years after the fact, people were told to shut the fuck up. Stop asking questions. Pretty much. Yeah.
So it sounds like any other UFO encounter that has...
From what when I was like glancing over this, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, the reason why they were telling them to basically be quiet after the fact, like we're talking about a couple years later when people try to like bring this up, is mainly because it wasn't coming from a place, from what I understood, of at least from the interactions I read. It was like not because like, hey, shut up, don't talk about it, because like that's our tech. It was more of shut up, don't talk about it, because they don't even understand it. It's not worth it. And they're like putting the lid on it because they got to look superior.
I see.
Yeah.
See. So the UFO incident itself was so advanced that they couldn't explain it.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to hide it from the public's eyes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because it gets pretty fucking wild.
Really?
It gets wild.
I whenever you mentioned it, I brought up some tertiary little bullet points about it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really dug into it other than listening to what you were just saying about it. But that's typically how it goes hand in hand, right? Like we talked about the UFO leaks or the disclosures 2 weeks ago, and all of it was they got the information and they took it away and said, "Don't ask questions."
Pretty
about
much.
this.
Yeah.
That seems to be a common occurrence within the UFO unidentified objects in general.
Back when UFO cases made sense.
Exactly.
Nowadays, it could be anybody. Look, you're gay and left-handed, you can touch aliens too.
Yep.
That's what it's become, bro. And I'm not playing that game.
I'm not part of that.
Mainly because I'm straight. What's up?
Oh, okay,
What's
dude.
up, dude?
Brag much.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't have a cover going or anything. What's going on here? But no, so let's talk about the sightings over Tehran. Or is it Tehran?
It's Tehran.
Tehran. That's how you say it. I was screwing up how you enunciate it. So shortly after midnight, residents in the Shemiran district of Tehran began calling the local airport tower to report a brilliant object floating silently above the city. All the witnesses described intense shifting colors, reds, blues, greens, oranges, radiating from a spherical mass that hovered without sound. After receiving several calls, the tower controller stepped outside, saw the object himself, and immediately relayed the situation to the Imperial Iranian Air Force. And at the time, the Iranian Air Force was the bee's knees.
Remember, Tehran is the capital of Iran.
Yeah. So that's what happened. So just the kind of a little additional detail to kind of flood this in. We're talking about multiple giant neighborhoods, consistent descriptions. Like the descriptions didn't change. Everyone who was calling in about it were saying, "Yo, this is what we're seeing. All this crap. Extremely bright. The object was extremely bright, pulsing, controlled motion, no sound at all, no aircraft beacon patterns. The tower initially thought maybe it was a bright star until they had visual confirmation. They're like, "Holy shit! Like that's not a star. What the fuck? Like what is that?" The height estimated well above typical helicopter
Okay.
altitude, but it wasn't up like insanely high where it was like, 30,000 feet or some shit. It wasn't like that. It was just above the typical like helicopter flying zone.
You think they're trying to get all that Iran uranium?
Yeah, dude. That's what they're doing, dude. They're milking
All
the
the
uranium
nuclear
mine.
sites over there.
The nuclear. I'm clear, dude. Nuclear.
Nuclear.
Yeah. So, what was it? Oh, and then the civilian reports line with everything that the tower controller described and his observations. So, all right, let's talk about the first F-4 intercept of this object. So, the Air Force launched its first F-4 Phantom interceptor to investigate it. As the jet closed to within 25 nautical miles of the object, every major electronic system began to fail.
Hmm.
Radios went silent, instruments flickered and died, weapons controls became completely 100% unresponsive. Yeah, even when they had power, because it's stated in like some of the testimonial of the pilots of what was documented, when they tried to utilize their weapons, when they did have power, the weapon systems just stayed offline.
But the jets were still flying.
The jets were still flying. Yeah, it
So
was like like it was like every system except for their main systems for being able to fly got
see
completely shut off.
that's fascinating to me.
Yeah,
Because if they can pinpoint direct locations of the jets or machinery to turn off, because sounds like they weren't trying to harm anybody. They're just saying leave us alone.
yeah. I mean, from that gist of it, yeah.
They could have easily just turned the jet engines off and had the plane fall out of the sky.
Yeah, they could have. Now, what it says here is that the weapons controls became completely unresponsive. The pilot turned away and instantly, without any manual reset, every system returned to normal the moment he was going away from the object.
Hmm.
Everything went back
So
100% back to normal.
the object again. How big was it? Did they ever describe how large it was?
We'll get to that
Okay,
here
gotcha.
shortly. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm doing like a
Play by
layer
plays.
going.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm trying to go in the order it kind of transpired.
And how they laid it out. Okay.
Yeah. So the moment that
Camera.
F4 turned away, everything resumed back to normal. And it didn't just turn away once. It did decide to turn back around. Same thing happened immediately. And then it then turned away. The moment it was going the opposite direction of the UFO, everything restored 100% back to normal.
Since it sounds like a designated EMP field.
Sounds like a electromagnetic gun
Yeah.
that's pinpointed. That's what it sounds like to me. Or it could be a field, but the fact that it was the moment it turned away and it was even closer, like, like on the distance it was from the object, the fact that it turned away and everything gets restored, that tells me they're not in the field. It means they just stopped shooting
But
at
in
whatever it was at. That's where my head goes.
whenever we talk about UFOs, they typically talk about Star Trek. So
Yeah.
there are scenes in Star Trek where they're about to be in combat and they're like, our weapon systems are offline. That's what it reminds me of, right? Like
Mhm.
they're about to go into combat or flying to like do some reconnaissance, and they're like, Captain, our weapons are offline, but our
Mhm.
shields are still up."
Yeah. That's what it sounds. It sounds like Gene Roddenberry shit.
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
Yeah. It reminds me of like, especially in that, I forgot what the episode. There was an episode of, I think it was Next Generation or something, where they were going in to actually go and like basically intercept some type of enemy, like some
Mhm.
bad person, right? And every time they approach, same concept, what you just laid out. It's like, oh, our weapons have been disabled, but everything else is fully functional. And it turns out is because they were disabling because they weren't the bad guy, right?
Correct.
So they were disabling the gun. But I'm not saying that the UFO wasn't bad guy. I mean, I don't believe in that whole shit of like they're here to enlighten us. I don't buy that for 2 seconds. Rule of law of nature is, dude, everyone serves themselves. If they're not killing you today, it's probably for whatever benefits them most. If they're killing you tomorrow, it means you don't have a purpose to them anymore. That typically is how nature, the law of nature, kind of goes.
Well, if they're
So-
an intelligent species, then
They're not that intelligent. They're letting us live, dude. We hold grudges.
well, that's the thing. They're gonna let us live because there will be a huge press release of aliens shot down F-14 fighter jets, and they probably know that they don't want that publicity,
Maybe they do.
especially if they're trying to stay hidden under the radar.
Or what if they're not? What if they just see us as piss ants and it's like, dude, we don't want to mess
Just
with
go
you.
away.
Like, if
It's
we
gonna-
have to take you down, we're just gonna bring more attention when we're trying to do something.
It's like
Like harvest the minerals out of your country.
it's like wearing mosquito repellent to get rid of mosquitoes.
Man, it's like, get out of here, dude. Dude, fuck.
Shoo fly.
Dude, it's gonna suck your blood. We're like, it's coming for your technology. Watch
Yeah,
out.
it's trying to get all your uranium and tech.
I can see it now, dude. We're like synthetic mosquitoes to them, dude. Plasma-based synthetic mosquitoes.
Whoa, dude. Wait, dude. So
You're telling
are
me,
you
dude.
telling me, dude,
You're telling me that they got stuff and we don't have stuff?
that I suck plasma, bro? Like,
Dude, you suck on this plasma, dude. Pew. So anyways, so the the encounter made one thing very adamantly clear, is that whatever the object was, it did possess some type of ability to disable a modern fighter jet simply by proximity of some form. They just knew it could do it without displaying any kind of display of something being used.
Yeah.
It reminds me too much of the Project Pandora, and the things that were discovered with with
yeah.
direct energy weapons. It reminds me too much of that shit.
when was Project Pandora?
Project Pandora took place during the Cold War. It all started with the U.S. Embassy in Moscow, and then things progressed from there because Project Pandora had many other layers to it that expanded due to what was going on with microwave emitted
Yeah, but,
directed energy.
but what time frame?
The 50s,
Um,
50s, 50s going in the 60s, 50s and 60s, 50s,
say it again.
50s and 60s, dude. 50, 60, dude. That's where it was. So, anyways, so some of the little additional detail here on what we were just talking about. So, the failures were simultaneous
Okay, so
completely.
I found the time frame. You were correct.
Mhm.
It was 1965 to 1970, a 5-year time frame. And then if you were to relate this to the incident in Tehran, that's 5 years later, 6 years later. So
Yeah.
that technology that we had via Project Pandora,
At least on the directed energy weapons.
correct. That's what I'm going with as well. Is the directed energy weapons, the microwave specific location weapons were around.
Yeah.
So
they were
it-
just extremely under wraps.
As a lot of these conspiracies go, is that people believe that the UFO tech is actually us in reverse engineered concepts. Perhaps this was just a bastardization of
It's entirely possible.
of a human vehicle that they just put our most modern tech inside.
Well, you say vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm about to get to the good part where it's vehicles.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's not just one. Well, it starts as one, and then it becomes multiple.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, like it poops out a bunch of other.
And we've seen
vessels.
that recently.
Yep, it reminds me too much of the blueprint to the what was it called, the Nazi, the Turklockton.
The Diglocka. We
Diglocka.
talk about that all
Well,
the time.
I know, but there's blueprints that are actual real blueprints that people, for some reason, historians and some other people, literally never want to talk about. Where it's
for good reason.
It's because in the blueprint it shows the whatever bell, it shows a cigar shaped
Mhm.
UFO blueprint, and it shows the whatever Diglocton in the center, and then on the towards the sides or from the center going out left and right on this blueprint, it has where you would see disc shaped craft and orb, like the sphere shaped craft, where they have chambers where they rest in.
Yeah, absolutely.
can
And
come out of.
the
So-
Diglocka was a time traveling device.
Yes, supposedly. Yeah.
So there are many different
So it
conspiracies.
makes you wonder if they put that in there, and
Yes.
that's what makes it able to just blip out of existence because it's moving through. It's tearing the space time
The
and fabric.
fabric.
Yeah, it's fabric of space time. I don't know, man.
It's
To get some
interesting stuff,
juicy,
dude.
dude.
It's interesting stuff.
If I wake up tomorrow dead, just know I did not take my own life.
Me either. I'm a very happy man.
Just kidding. He is super depressed.
I got a headache though.
Yeah, dude. He's got a headache because the only way to satisfy that, it was like click, click, boom, boom, right?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not suicidal, man.
This headache is enough to get rid of myself.
Do you want some
No, I'm good.
medications?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So now, like I was saying, additional detail. No recorded mechanical faults on the aircraft afterward. They did a full system checks on both of these F4 Phantoms. Nothing was wrong with them. Everything worked perfectly fine. I'm not making that up. This is all documented. Speaking of documents, let me just pop this over here real quick. So this is where we got our material for this, and you can get this from the Black Vault. The Black Vault's a really good spot for this. And in fact, that's why we went from the Black Vault book that I have, because it's all these documents are listed on the website. So this is the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency report of just some of the chatter that they talked about it. This is one of the places we got information. This is the other one, and this is, I can't remember which document this was. This is the DOD.
The routing slip.
Yeah, routing slip. And this one's, it's got detail in there. You just got to read it. It's probably kind of hard to see on the screen. And then this is, which one was this one?
This is the U.S. government international incidents of interest.
Yeah. So there's this document here as well. And then I've got some more in here. And then this
Good
is
grief.
oh yeah, dude. There's so many different, these are just a fraction.
That
of
one's
the
in another
document.
language.
Yeah, this is just a fraction of the documents though, because and then this is where you can go and get the source material here. And it's got many other things you can click on and documents that go with this case that were reported at the time. But yeah, so like I said, there was no recorded mechanical faults, nothing like that. Everything worked just fine. When they got back to base, all that stuff. So the range specific, the interference that they dealt with, it only happened when they got near the object. That's the only time it ever happened. Anytime they got to try to get close to it, that is when their weapon systems would go offline. If they kept pursuing forward, all of a sudden, then they would lose more.
Oh.
It was like, hey, we're going to disable your weapon system because we know you can actually shoot us from there. Hopefully, you turn around and don't try to keep coming. If they kept going forward, which they did in a couple, they kept pressing on in a few of the occasions, hoping it would come back online or whatever while they're trying to work the problem.
It was like a warning.
Yeah, it was like saying hey, it's like what they were getting disabled was the ability to, it was like in layers. It was like, you're at a distance. Once you're at the distance where you can make an accurate shot at us, we're going to disable your weapons. If you keep coming and you don't turn around from that, we're going to disable something else. And then we're going to, you know what? You're still coming. We're going to disable everything now.
Yeah.
That's basically how it kind of played out. The pilot reported quote unquote, dead cockpit sensation is what he reported. Basically.
So no power in the cockpit.
Yeah. Or the other detail was trying to move his joystick to turn his plane, and it didn't work. It was like he moved his joystick, which is weird because that's the mechanical part, right? And it's got all the other parts. That is something that you should be able to still somewhat do. It was like he moved it and nothing would respond.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. And then the Iranian command realized this was a deliberate capability, is what they categorize as. It was deliberate. All of it was. The thing is, the jet returned completely back safe. As long as it turned around, didn't keep going near the object, everything restored, and the jet was 100% grade A back to normal. Yeah, it's wild, dude.
I'm at a loss of words for that, because that is like that's a telltale sign of higher level tech, right?
Yeah.
And it's well documented that this happened.
Yeah, well documented. And then just to move along, so the second F4, let's talk about the second F4. This was commanded by Major Parviz. Sorry if I pronounced this name wrong.
No,
but
you're not.
Major Parviz Jafari, he was scrambled up. As Jafari approached, he could see the object from 70 miles away. And at 27 miles, his radar locked onto a massive return, one comparable to the size of a military tanker. Visually, the object appeared as a sphere of intense multicolored light far brighter than any aircraft. Um, the Mehrabad radar also tracked the same target, confirming it existed on multiple systems. The object maintained controlled movement, staying ahead of the F-4 as it is fully aware of the jet's position. So anytime the jet started to deviate, or sorry, anytime it moved and the jet tried to make course, it would always maintain an
A
exact
certain
distance.
distance, right?
An exact
So
distance.
a tanker,
Can I give a fun fact about that
please.
distance? That was the distance of their firepower capability.
No, dude,
No, I'm not
come
making that up.
on.
I'm not making that up. That's 100% a fact. That was for accurate for being accurate. That was the max distance,
Oh, wow. That's
and it stayed just 2 miles outside of it at all times.
what?
Of that
No.
distance at all times.
How could it know that?
I don't know,
And so
unless it's us,
Eh,
or maybe
it's
it's just more
super
of
intelligent,
it's
right?
super intelligent. Maybe it's artificial intelligence.
So
Meow.
so just for instance, you said military tanker. So I looked up a 707 tanker.
Yeah,
Those things are 154 feet long on average.
154.
That's
That's a big
that's
ass fucking
massive,
tanker, bro.
dude. That is massive.
Huge. That's massive, dude. That's what she said.
I wish.
I wish too.
Holy cow. So this thing would not be hard to miss.
Mm-mm.
That's like a B-52 bomber.
Especially since it's that's an object that size.
It's glowing.
It's not even just glowing. It's protruding a light that's so bright that no one's ever seen something that bright. Like it's nothing like a plane.
And we've heard that before in Texas and then the Levelland, Texas.
Yep. The Levelland, Texas UFO incident in 1957.
Yeah, and it was also
And that was in 57. That was not in 70s. That was like the beginning of Cold War.
and that thing was also massive as well.
Yeah, it was massive. Yeah, breakaway civilization, dude. It's the Nazis.
They sound all. It's the Nazis.
Well, that's the
ice
rumor.
flies. We've got to fly over the Iran.
Hey, there is the conspiracy said that some Nazis broke away from some of their establishments within Antarctica that made it possible for them because they tapped into technology due to the Diglockton discovery that they made. I mean,
I just like the thought of a bunch of
I don't know.
Dutchmen flying around. That's the real flying Dutchman.
yeah, yeah.
This guy in the comment chat is going off the charts.
Yeah, he's talking about the UFO.
Yeah, he's talking about future tech and consciousness and how they're all related.
I mean, it's entirely possible. I mean, you can't rule it out. There's no telling.
Absolutely.
You can't rule it out. Yeah, you can't rule it out.
He's talking about how some of the UFOs are potentially time travelers and that he has met them and seen them.
I mean, it's one of those things where if you're going to entertain the idea, because you can't rule anything out, like you have to be objective.
Well,
with
yeah,
everything
question
at this
everything,
point.
right?
And it's just like, if
Camera.
I could see it being a possibility just due to the fact that in all nature of every real UFO case that's transpired, the fact that they blip in and out of existence, it doesn't, when I say existence, it's more of like our perceived reality of existence. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily time traveling because time is a man-made construct, like it's just a unit of measure, and it's what we put in place for being able to get through each day to day, and going over a span of time, right? Just a unit of measure. So it's like time is not linear, and we already know that. So it's like it's the concept of everything and anything all at once kind of concept due to especially bringing vibrational frequencies into the mix of how that can mesh in and intertwine. You can be in, well, it's just it's a weird thing to get into, but at the same time, it's extremely fascinating because I'm not buying the fact that someone's necessarily a quote unquote time traveler. I think our primitive understanding of any of this shit, like I'm talking about as a collective here at this point. I don't care who you are in the UFO community. If you think something is a fact in it, you should, unless there's like irrefutable evidence that is right in front of you that for a fact, like it's irrefutable. That would be the only way you can say, hey, this is what it does, or this is what it is. And everyone kind of leans, like always wants to hold on to something because they want an answer. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
And with this, I think it's entirely possible what he's talking about. But at the same time, who fucking knows?
Not me.
I don't know.
But
it's a cool thing to talk about.
So I want to touch briefly on the concept of them being able of this UFO device, this 707 size tanker, being able to turn off certain aspects. Because a hacker can go into a computer or into a system and turn off certain aspects.
Yeah.
Without being seen or traced or noticed if they do it all correct.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, because if this being or whatever it is, this alien device is so future advanced, but potentially they're just like quantitatively hacking the computer system and just turning things off before it even registers, instead of doing like a localized EMP, like I initially said, like we initially thought,
Yeah.
like the microwave weapons.
Yeah.
If it's more advanced and that we can't even grasp the concept of it, maybe it's something simpler and they're just able to quantitative hack into it.
I think like we've always had a rule of thumb that if we're getting the technology in the public sphere and it's disclosed to us here, we are either if we're finding out about it today, that means they've had it a minimum
Say
of
it with
20
us,
years.
folks. Say it with us, folks. 20 years.
Yeah, minimum of 20 years. And I say 20, but there are some technology, like for
40.
instance, a good example, and I've mentioned this numerous times in previous episodes, but bone conduction headphones.
Yes.
Bone conduction headphones were established in the 50s. There's a blueprint for it. You can look it up. That's when the patent was made for the exact ones you see that are sold. Like it's the little ones that just go right here, and it's a little band that goes around the back of your head. That's it. And that was done in the 50s, and we didn't even publicly get them until 2008.
Yep.
So you do the math on that, dude, that's just over 50 years. So it's like, if they've got, I'm just saying,
I use those under my shooting earmuffs. Put a pair of those on top of my shooting earmuffs, and I can play music or whatever, and I can hear communication a little bit better too.
Yep.
Underneath my battle helmet.
Yeah, but you think, man, that's 50 fucking years. So it's just like, if things were discovered, like when they did the Manhattan Project, that they didn't talk about, like, yeah, we know about the nuclear bomb, but what if there's a whole other levels to the Manhattan Project that no one fucking talked about?
Absolutely right.
That are behind closed doors off the books.
And will never be disclosed.
Or the shit that was discovered from bringing over the Nazi scientists that were taken, that we went and got, and that were split between America and Russia. By the way, Russians got them too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's all of a sudden the UFO cases really started spouting up in Russia right after that happened. Same with the U.S. I wonder why. Maybe it was because they got their hands on technology that the Nazis were fucking with.
No doubt.
And maybe the Nazis got it. Maybe they recovered that shit, because everyone said that Hitler had an obsession with the occult, and religious artifacts. Who's to say that the religious artifacts that they were finding when they weren't just old technology that was fucking in archaeological sites?
I've thought about that for so long.
Yeah, and that's been on my mind, because you reference bring in Bob Lazar now, and this is the last thing I'll say. Bring in Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar is the one person that I find to be one of the most credible people to ever come forward.
Hands
he doesn't
down.
get money off of it. It ruined his fucking life, all the things. But one of the things he said in it was when he was seeing some of the UFOs in the hangars, and some were damaged, some were old as shit, like obviously like falling apart, all battered and stuff. He said that he was told on either one, I can't remember if it was one of them or two of them, that those were recovered in archaeological discoveries. So who's to say that when Hitler sent out his private little SS battalions to go and find these objects of the occult, what if they didn't just stumble into fucking technology they didn't fucking understand, and then they started fucking with it, and there's where the digloctin came into play? I'm just throwing it out there.
I think that's a very feasible argument.
I think it is too. I'm right. What are you talking about? It's a fact.
You may
dude.
not be right, but it's
so
definitely
right.
a interesting topic, at least, right?
Yeah.
Because they were specifically searching for things like the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
Who's to say the Grail isn't actually like a handheld fucking emitter thing?
Exactly. It could easily just be some sort of device that keeps you young.
It could be a device that actually creates proper stabilized water that you can drink with proper pH levels.
Yeah.
And those minerals that one chemist, who was it? He was obsessed with finding, I forgot his name, but he worked for the CIA and all that stuff. But basically he ended up being, he had a protege that ended up taking over his work. And what they found was that there was these natural water, like ponds or what's the word for it? Where
Babbling Brooks.
I don't remember. I'm talking about the water, like a geyser or whatever, where the water in it had certain minerals that you weren't finding in any other water, But those minerals were essential. If you were to drink that water, and they experimented with it, it was like rejuvenating your cells and shit. Who's to say there wasn't like a little thingy that would make the water do what that water
There was
does?
there
I
was a
don't know.
there was a
Throwing
few
it out
there was
there.
a few guys who were obsessed with it.
There was one guy who did his whole life's work to it, and then he handed it off to someone else, and he worked for the government.
Was it really, really old?
Yeah. He's been doing, like, the guy who took over is now probably almost dead.
So by really old, I mean like the Water Wizard, 1885, 1958.
Probably him.
Victor Schaumburger.
I don't know the names, dude.
Obsessed with water's natural forms, he believed water has a living substance crucial for health, studying its flow in streams and advocating for pure and natural energetic water. They called him the Water Wizard.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a fun episode to talk about the Water Wizard. Yeah, there
Yeah.
are several different water guys. You have the water boys, if you will. You have the Paracelsus from 1493 to 1541, Max Joseph von Pettenkofer, a lot of German fellas.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's funny how it's all comes back to a German fella. I'm just saying that because it's ironic, because supposedly the Nazis were, at one point in time, not trying to associate a German person with being a Nazi.
correct.
There was obviously Germans that weren't Nazis, but it's one of those things where it's ironic is the best way for me to put it, that the people that supposedly may have discovered something that were there for these groundbreaking moments, that also these scientists who were also German got sent to all these other major powered countries in the world. All of a sudden, their technology starts booming.
Tartaria,
and Dude, don't get me
That's some
started on that.
that's some Tartaria
We
stuff.
don't have the OBL here, dude. We
I
don't
know.
got the OBS lounge, man.
We got to get him back in here.
Yeah, I
Another
know.
Tartaria talk.
Yeah, dude, I miss talking to him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
But let's move on with the subject. How about that? So this, when I was talking about Jafari, the pilot, how he said suddenly realized, so the main object suddenly released a smaller, intensely bright sphere, right? That was the first one. Now, I'm going to give the additional detail of that, of what we talked about with Jafari, the second F4 Phantom jet. So, like I said, the weapons failure occurred only when only when trying to target the object, or within actually a weapon's hot distance where they could fire it effectively.
Actually do damage.
Yes. The missile systems, the AIM-9, became 100% non-functional. The exact timing suggests intelligent countermeasures.
Yeah.
It was all perfectly timed. The moment, every single time, systems would go offline. Smaller object shows would literally displayed consistently on a constant basis intelligent countermeasures and control and movement. So anytime that he tried to go after the smaller one instead of the main larger craft, it would always maintain the same exact fucking distance from him as well. And anytime he tried to like pull a maneuver, like, oh, I'm going to scoop out like this, and then like dip down and do like a thruster, or come up from above and then like use gravity as an extra momentum with force, it didn't do shit to this thing. This thing literally outmaneuvered him every time, and never once could he ever break that certain distance.
Was there any documentation on how many different baby alien?
I believe
came
it was
off
a
it?
total of 4.
Okay, well that's a lot.
4 spheres.
That reminds me of
So
the Hellfire missile alien thing
Yep.
that happened the other month.
And it makes me wonder if this was a cigar-shaped UFO.
That's where I was
super
going
fucking
next.
bright.
That's where I was going next.
And that's why they couldn't see the exact shape of it, because it was intentionally emitting that crazy light.
Yes.
That would make sense to me. It really would, because I've seen the weird UFO, the cigar-shaped UFO.
We've seen those
videos.
all over the place.
Yeah, dude. It's wild.
Oumuamua.
Yeah. I don't remember what that means.
It's long rock.
Long.
It means long rock.
Rock good. Oumuamua. Was that the right word? Oumuamua?
Oumuamua.
Yeah. Long rock. Anyways, so the object then drops something to the ground. Let's talk about that.
It means green.
Oh, I meant to give the additional details. So I know I said the missile systems, the AIM-9, became non-functional. The exact timing and then the movement was all intelligent countermeasures. Smaller objects showed extremely precise control. It behaved like a defense drone or interceptor. Like, it was highly intelligent. Jafari also reported intense emotional and physical stress in his body.
Oh,
All of a sudden, his brain was cycling through emotions, which he is not that way.
well, as a trained pilot, you're not supposed to, right?
And he was well revered. He was one of the best.
Oumuamua means green, by the way.
That's a green large rock. Green Oumuamua.
Long green rock.
Yeah, long green rock. But no, Jafari reported like intense emotional and physical stress. Like he would find it the way it was described in his witness, like his testimony that was documented. He said that it was overwhelming emotionally. All of a sudden, on an emotional side, he could not maintain feeling fear to all of a sudden, like even depression to like anxiety. And he said that it was noted in there that he did not, he was fully aware of feeling this. And he was like, he didn't understand why his brain was doing it. Because he wasn't in any danger. Nothing was attacking him. Nothing. And even because he's chased weird shit before, supposedly. Like he's chased objects that supposedly were in there. And
I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine that sensation. You're doing your job.
It's like going manic all of a
That's
sudden.
what I was just about to say that, right?
Mania, dude.
Like you're doing your job, you're following orders, and you're calm about it because that's your job. You say yes and you do it, and then all of a sudden, you're losing your mind, and you can't understand why you're losing your mind. It sounds like a bat of mania mixed with borderline disorder, like
it really does.
like disorder issues, right?
Yeah, it really does. It reminds me of the episode that when we talked about the studies that were done with like to people who take methamphetamines or amphetamines and schizophrenia, and how it can bring on this alternate sense of reality.
Yes.
And your perception is fucking skewed, and you go from being into an extremely heightened state without but the difference is that he was aware of it.
I mean, our brain is nothing but like electricity and neurons, right?
Yeah.
So,
if you can manipulate that electromagnetic current or electric current that's going in your brain, well, these devices can do that, you know?
So who's to say that they can't just make you have an emotion?
Yeah, exactly. And we've done episodes talking about that.
Absolutely,
because that goes into the MK Ultra program. That goes into
Project Pandora.
Pandora, yeah, because that was the grandfather program of all of it. And on top of that, that goes into direct microwave emitted energy weapons. Because, I mean, what was the Havana syndrome?
Yep.
What happened there?
They did it in Turkey, too.
Yep. And
recently.
And that's for a wide mass of people, but you can pinpoint it. And we already know that the blueprints exist for this, people. Like, you can go look it up. Like,
you can build it yourself. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't. I do. Here, smartly and educated. We do not condone that. No. Dude, you're going to get visited by a wet team in the middle of the fucking night. That's what's about to happen.
Did you see the new weapon that they showed the public recently? It's a laser. It's a microwave laser weapon that is quiet and it is instant and it destroys anything metal in its path. Drones, bullets, missiles.
Sounds like a goddamn laser rail gun.
It's exactly what it is.
That's what it sounds like to me. Fuck.
It's wild.
One.
They showed the videos of it working. It's
crazy.
One.
I want one.
We do not condone that.
If I could own a tank, I'd own a tank. I'm just saying.
You can own a tank, dude. You can go buy a tank.
I know. I'm talking about one that's fully functional.
I mean,
with rounds.
You can buy a tank and then fix it to make it work, allegedly.
Allegedly is a great little topping to put on that, my friend. Yes, allegedly.
Much like you could allegedly make any gun an automatic, allegedly.
Allegedly. But let's move on with the subject, though. So let's talk about the object dropped something to the ground. So moments later, the main object released a second glowing sphere. So this is where number 2 comes into play. A second glowing sphere that descended toward the ground. It moved slowly and to what they describe as deliberate, the way it maneuvered at the ground, almost as if it were landing rather than falling. Jafari tracked its descent. So it's still Jafari, by the way. He was still out there. He went back. And he got to witness this. He watched. He was the one who was getting like actual instrument documentation on it, the works, and also seeing it with his own fucking eyes. So it, uh, uh, he said Jafari tracked its descent and watched it illuminate the terrain below. So when it got lower, so this is the funny little catch on here. This is the little like catch detail. This is a glowing object. When it's at the distance it is that it's super low to the ground, it did not descend any lower, but it was already super low. It was not illuminating anything, but then it was, and it
Wait,
never dropped any lower. So it's like it turned. It's like it turned on something to illuminate everything that was down below on the ground only.
wow.
But yet there was no brightness difference in the object whatsoever, and it was illuminating a large area. Like, it wasn't like a pinpointed spotlight going down. It was illuminating clearly a large
My little
area
monkey brain
within a
can't
radius of
grasp
it.
that concept. Because if you
I
are
know.
if you are a glowing light, but you don't emit any light,
Yeah. It's very
like
odd.
what the hell going on, boy?
Yeah, it's very weird because what he describes, it sounds like it's like it kept its light that it's emitting up top and to the sides, but then it completely disabled any kind of light emission from the bottom.
Yeah.
And then when it was ready over a certain region, a certain area at that height, that super low light, or sorry, low level, it then turned on its illumination. But it wasn't doing illumination even from the other directions it was doing. It
That's
was only from the bottom.
that's awesome.
And it never, and that's the other detail I almost forgot. It never lost any of its brightness, the object. Never
Yeah,
once.
you mentioned that.
Coming
Yeah.
down from when it came out of the craft as a second sphere, it never once lost any of its brightness the entire time.
It sounds like that's its propulsion system.
And the way he was talking, the way his testimony goes, it kind of he kind of paints it as if the bottom was still glowing even when it was at that height.
Mm.
So I don't know, man. There's a lot of questions I have with that, but I mean, we're limited on what information we can.
Well, the
actually
questions
get.
are going to be endless
Yeah.
because there's a lot of data that isn't given to us, and there's a lot of technology that we've never seen or heard of before.
Yeah.
So that's going to leave a lot of questions open because if it can pinpoint light in a specific location,
Yeah.
but also not emit light whenever it doesn't want to,
Yep. Yep.
what is the purpose of that?
Yeah.
What's the benefit?
No fucking idea.
It reminds me of that alien ship I saw in Arkansas.
Maybe it
dude.
doesn't want people down below to know too much what's going on yet until it's necessary.
Do you think it would look like
I
a
don't know.
star if you looked up?
That's a big. That's no moon. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Maybe the little ones
Especially if
would.
it's that close. Like that's fucking terrifying if you think
Yes,
about
it
it.
is.
But to move on with this, so like I said, Jafari tracked its descent and watched it illuminate the terrain below. On the ground, residents later reported a flash of light and a loud burst, though there was no wreckage ever found.
Hmm.
None.
I
The
know-
object's controlled descent suggested basically a technological function rather than debris or a malfunction.
Exactly.
Like it was intentional what it did, but no one knows what it was
It was
for.
searching for something
Yeah.
or dropping
So-
something off or.
It said that the drop zone. So here's some additional details on this occurrence. So the drop zone, it was near dry lake bed southeast, near a dry lake bed southeast of Tehran. Residents described flash and loud sound. No crash site, no debris. It says that the lights remained bright throughout descent. The behavior resembled basically, quote unquote, a deployment, not a falling.
So I looked up
So-
the southeast area of Tehran, and there is a huge salt flat there.
Yeah.
Like a lake bed salt flat.
Mhm.
It's referred to as the Namak Lake or the Dashit-i-Kavir Basin. I
Yeah.
probably absolutely butchered that,
You
but
probably did.
that is like the most prominent southeast area of Iran, Tehran, right there.
Yeah.
That is a good representation of where it would go if you want to look it up on a map somewhere.
Yeah. I will in just a moment. But I have one other detail about the details I was just giving. When they said like the behavior resembled quote unquote a deployment, not a quote falling, the analysts, pretty much every analyst, pretty much all concurred, and they all believe that it may have been a probe or a sensor,
Correct.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's what they think it was. Like that's the best guess that they could come up with
I'd say a probe.
due
Easy.
to its behavior.
Yeah, easy a probe.
Um, now let's talk about how the third object follows the jet.
Hold on. Before you go any further with
Yeah.
that, though,
Mhm.
they had a helicopter go out there with scientists the following day to look at the salt flat if there was any debris or anything left over.
Yeah.
There wasn't,
Mhm. Not a damn thing.
but there was a very strong electromagnetic field that was interfering in that area. So if you went out there with any sort of electrical device, it would turn off or
So it's like the electromagnet the electromagnet oh God, I can't speak
me
tonight.
either, dude. It's okay.
Electromagneticism. Is that right?
Yeah,
Um, God, I can't talk
was left
tonight.
behind. It was like a
It was
residual.
like a residual and it affected because we already know that there's negative and positive
Absolutely.
electric interferences that happen constantly. Anywhere you walk out of your house, there's positive and negative happening coming from the soil of the earth
Hmm.
at all times. It's just, they're not tampered with, and in our areas, like it's nothing that affects you
Apparently,
as a
in that
person.
specific area where it landed, it messed up the compasses and any radios for several days afterward.
Yeah, that's like it's like almost like a post nuclear bomb, right? A
Exactly
fallout.
right.
It's like radiation, but in this case, it's
On that
electromagnetism.
note, I got to go pee.
You do that. I'm gonna keep reading stuff. I'm talking about the third object that follows the jet, bro. Um, so let's switch over to that. So as Jafar, so this is still Jafari. So Jafari repositioned his aircraft. A third object appeared behind his F4. Now he's in this F4 Phantom, and it followed him for several minutes, maintaining a quote unquote perfect distance. It mirrored every single one of his movements with with exact precision before just veering off and then poof, gone. The radar operators also detected multiple fast moving returns consistent with the objects Jafari described. So it was proving that the encounter involved not just one craft, but several operating in coordination of everything. So basically what happened here is that you had a pilot get to visually witness this thing. He got to witness it also on all of his instrumentation. Um, the at central, like at the main tower, that's viewing everything through radars and other optics. They're able to see all these objects as well. So it's getting confirmed through multiple channels. This is why the Tehran UFO incident that happened in 1976 is such a powerful one. If you ask me, it's a very credible one, because you had all this documentation. Nothing, there was no inconsistencies that ever fucking happened, not once. So now Jafari, he said that he felt he was being escorted.
Mm.
What I just got done telling people was talking about the third object because it followed the jet, and you missed it. And I'm sure you already know some of this stuff,
Hmm.
but the object followed the jet, and it maintained a perfect distance consistently from him and mimicked every maneuver he made from behind him.
Like all the other ones, right?
Yep, just like Commander Fravor.
Yeah.
What happened technically it was in like what 2001 or 2004, somewhere in there where the event actually took place, where he actually pursued one of the
Yes.
objects and he got to see visuals of it. It didn't come out until like 2017, 2018 when people started talking about it again, or actually talking about it and it getting like media attention. But it very similar in that aspect. It mimicked their fucking behavior and it would blop itself where they were trying to go. Like sound like, yeah, I know where you're trying to go. Like, but in this case, it was following Jafari, that F4
I couldn't
pilot.
imagine that.
And every maneuver he made, he even tried to make evasive trained maneuvers, like on the abrupt as if you're in a dogfight. And that is documented. And it mimicked him flawlessly. Anytime he made a move, it was like a mirror, but it
What?
wasn't delayed.
It's like
I'm not making that up.
it's
That's
like
literally in the documents.
it's
You
like
guys can go
it's like
find it on the Black
it's
Vault.
like it was locked on him, tracking his motions.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
like full on mimicking
Yeah.
everything.
It makes you wonder if there was if it was even a manned craft. What if it was a craft that is
Droned.
droned and it locks onto another object and it can just shadow play it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like shadow boxing, right? You got your shadow and you go and do some jabs. It's going to mimic you perfectly in real time and not be off beat. You not visually that you can tell that it's delayed.
That's
I mean, that's the best way I can use an analogy on that.
I couldn't imagine
You
the
know?
I couldn't imagine the thought of a quote unquote intergalactic being potentially following my every move.
That would be potentially intergalactic, or what if it's
Or whatever it is, right? It
whatever
could
the
be
fuck
it could be whatever it is. I'm just potentially, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Having that daunting factor of something that you don't know how to explain is just following your every beckoning move as you try to lose it, dude. I mean, the panic
Yep.
that would come over my body would be immense.
Yep. And you already talked about um you already talked about how the next day they went out there with helicopters and investigated the site supposedly where that one went down, as if something it dropped something
Mhm.
or an explosion happened. We already touched on that, but the thing is that what I want to notate about it is that I'm really emphasize there was no disturbance patterns. Sorry, the disturbance pattern did not match any form of aircraft crashes. Like the only thing there. Oh, that was the other thing. Sorry, the soil appeared to be extremely heated and slash like or displaced.
Interesting.
That is one of the things that was physically different. Is like the soil was super heated, and it was physically like you could tell it got heated, like it like moldered itself.
Hmm.
That is something that did happen, and they found it over where pretty much like the area where supposedly
Yes.
there that boom happened, like where it was at its closest. Um, and then the
So it
residents,
sounds like propulsion.
yep, and the residents to confirm timing and direction. Um, and then what was it? Iran had no craft matching that kind of behavior, like no, not even close. No one did that anyone knew of around the world. And then uh, but the U.S. Analysts then did get involved on the U.S. side, and they even said that this is very similar to a probe deployment that would potentially happen, like a probe into soil, like with some type of object. So I don't know. That was there wasn't much else on that I could really get. Um, but the so let's talk about the moment that Jafari increased his distance from the main object, right? So his jet began to recover, right? So like the smaller probes that like the one that was mimicking him as he was leaving, like trying to get away, after it finally veered off, it eventually veered off. And it followed him for several minutes. It wasn't like, oh, I'm following you for 10 seconds and that's where we're basing it. No, it's several minutes of it
Wow.
perfectly mirroring him. Now, the thing is that once it veered off, now there was the main object still that was always there this whole fucking time. He's that once he increased his distance from the main object, I'm talking outside of that
Of
threshold,
course, yes.
and then he got even more distance, his jet basically fully recovered instantly, like full instantly. His radar, everything came back, radios, everything stabilized, weapon systems were all lit back up and functional. But just to add on, because we talked about earlier, every malfunction literally vanished without any form of repair. Like it was none needed. Jet landed safely. Maintenance crews later confirmed, because we talked about that mainly on the first
Mhm.
jet. This is his jet, which is the second F4 Phantom. No mechanical issues. Systems were fully 100% intact. No issues, no bugs. They literally ran a check on it. Like I don't even remember what number it
Like a
was.
diagnostic on it, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what number it was, but they tested each system all at once, independently, thousands of times after the event.
Whoa.
Never once got a failure.
So I found a video of him
So,
talking about this.
oh, you did?
I posted it in the YouTube chat right there.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's a 4-minute long video of him discussing it. It's in the bottom right there, bud.
Yeah, I see
Okay,
it.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna let viewers watch it.
I haven't watched it yet. It's from 2007.
I
It's
want to get through the rest
yeah,
of
go
this
ahead. I'm sorry.
instead of. No, I'm saying instead of watching the video,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't gonna put it on because we're running out of time. And there's a bit to go through. I
Okay.
mean, some of it is not crazy to
We
go
can
through.
end it, innit?
Huh?
We can end the show with it.
Cliffhanger. Bye. Boop. Like, tune in next week for 10 minutes of information.
No, I'm saying we can end the show with this video.
Oh, we could. Well,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, we should. That actually makes sense. So, where was I? Oh, yeah, we were talking about the morning investigation.
I like the debunking of it.
Yeah, there's some weird debunking stuff on it.
That they tried.
They tried so hard and
dude.
failed so even harder.
Yeah.
Like, there's no debunking this. This is just, it is what it
Yeah.
is. Like,
Unexplained.
unexplained. So, The Defense Intelligence Agency prepared a detailed report circulating to the NSA, CIA, the White House, and the Joint Chiefs. The analysts, the analysis concluded that Tehran encounter met every criterion for a credible and significant was emphasized, significant UFO event, multiple trained witnesses, emphasis on trained, independent radar confirmation to military radar, like everyone was picking it up who was in that area. Electromagnetic interference, psychological effects on the pilots, which happened on both pilots.
Yes.
I meant to touch on that about the first guy. Deployment of smaller craft, like they're aware about the deployment of smaller crafts out of unknown flying objects that defy everything we understand. And this is 1976, people. And maneuvers beyond the limits of known aviation. The case was formally labeled just unidentified. That's all they labeled it at in the public sphere. In the public sphere, it's labeled that way. So yeah, in the DIA memo, which we had up earlier on the screen, which I'll just show it briefly again right now. This is the Defense Intelligence Agency memo. It's only 4 pages, but this was mass distributed across the highest levels and channels within the United States.
Hold on, go back up a little bit. I want to read just a quick snippet out of it. So this is on the second page.
You want me to zoom in a little bit?
No, you're okay. The first paragraph, about 4 sentences in, it says it's a kind of bird-like object. While others reported 4 helicopters with light on, there were no helicopters airborne at that time. The command port called BG Yusuf, Assistant Deputy Commander of Operations, after he told the citizens it was only a star, like I mentioned.
Yep.
And had talked to Mahabad Tower. He decided to look for himself and noticed an object in the sky similar to a star, bigger and brighter. He decided to scramble an F4 from so on and so forth. And that's where the story began.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's some good shit, dude. This is a juicy one. So let me scroll down here real quick. And then just so you guys know, the NSA, especially at that time, it was extremely rare. You were better luck finding a fucking unicorn in your backyard, like a real full-fledged out of a fucking mythological book, than having the NSA endorse a UFO event.
I would say that's still possible today.
You know, and they actually endorsed this one. They're like, yeah, we've done the homework, and everyone else the other homework everyone's talking about because it didn't happen here where we could cover it up. So yeah, we have to endorse this one.
That's
essentially what happened. They could not.
That's
refute it.
awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
It needs to happen in other countries from now on.
Yeah,
Fuck
aliens,
happening
go to Iran some more.
Yeah, dude. Well,
they can't hide it.
Yeah, dude, go there.
Yeah, they can't hide it like we can
or
here.
just go right off the coast in
New Jersey,
in neutral waters. You know what I mean? Which they already do that.
Yes, they do on a regular basis.
Well, they're already doing it, guys. But yeah, and then the U.S. Air Force Meiji report focused on the weapons interference behavior, which I had that up here. That's all some of the other documents we had. So years later, after retiring, let's talk about Major Jafari again, the second pilot. So Major Jafari publicly testified that the object he encountered was not of earthly origin. He stated that its speed, maneuverability, control over his weapon systems, and its ability to deploy smaller craft demonstrated technology far surpassing anything Iran, the United States, or the Soviet Union possessed. His story has remained consistent for decades.
History or his story?
His story. Oh, hey, yo. Well, it's funny that they named it history. It's just that guy's story of what happened.
That's right.
His pen is,
it's not her story.
Victory is, history is written by whoever the victor is, who's got the pen in their hand. But Jafari spoke at National Press Club in Washington. His testimony matched original military reports, 100%, no deviations. Ever once in all the time he's talked about it up to this day. Called the object intelligently controlled, referred to smaller spheres as devices. He just labeled them as devices because he didn't know what, he's still trying to wrap his head around it. He's just like, it makes more sense to call it a device.
That's what I'd go with.
Yeah, and it makes sense to me. He said he believed the craft intentionally prevented his attack.
Of course.
Well, yeah, blatantly, because
We
the
know
stuff
that.
we talked about, like, with the distance and yeah, we already went through all that stuff. Now, so this is pretty much the closing out of it, but the Tehran UFO incident stands pretty much as one of the most impelling encounters ever documented. Now, we've talked about some juicy UFO shit, especially like the one that happened in with the what was the name of that place in South America?
In Peru?
Yeah, in Peru. That was insane.
Yes, it was.
And people don't. We have a whole episode on that. Please go look through our stuff. You'll find it. It's about the vampire aliens.
Well, no,
And
that's
what I
that's
titled
a
it.
different one.
No. That's the same one. Where they had the captain come in, the guy, like, he had a whole military team.
Is it the face peelers?
No. That's a whole different. We talk about that in the episode too.
Yeah, because
we mention it.
I was thinking that the Peru face peelers.
They're all connected because the same shit happens in that same area.
Like I said, like you said, we have a lot of juicy UFO stuff.
Yeah,
Alien talk.
If you go to the one that says like vampire aliens or something or whatever, the thumbnail for it's got a guy going with a UFO thing behind him. Watch that episode because that one is fucking wild too. That one's way more juicier than this one in all retrospect because you got to actually see people get abducted and shit.
And they have the wounds on their neck.
Yeah, and the body's drained of blood and plasma, and sometimes one or the other.
Yeah.
Wild shit. But the Tehran UFO incident is literally, it's just filled with 100% documentation of just multiple witnesses, everything from military to civilian, multi-radar, multi-aircraft with physical, measurable effects and intelligent responses to military engagement. U.S. intelligence agencies acknowledge its authenticity, which they never do that shit.
No, they don't.
Its credibility and its significance. Nearly 50 years later, the incident has never been explained, never debunked, and remains one of the strongest pieces of evidence that we are not alone. Now, with that being said, I mentioned at the beginning episode, I'm just going to throw this in there because it's the closing out. I mentioned how people had tried to bring it up years later, and they were told to shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
That was happening. There was PIs that were hired, supposedly hired, right? And these private investigators came in to do these third-party, investigation on the incident that took place in the 80s. And one of them went public about it. He is now dead. He actually stepped forward, which I don't remember his name. He stepped forward, basically like tried to go public and like called some like radio station, not here in the United States.
Trying to like whistleblow.
Yeah, he left the country, and when he was there, he tried to spread the talk about it. Thinking he could do it there. Literally the next day, he was found dead with no known causes, signs of why he died. His heart was just stopped.
Oh, heart attack gun, baby.
Yeah. Sounds like someone in the United States is trying to cover their fucking tracks.
Yes,
Like I said,
yeah.
I'm not suicidal.
Me
and
either.
This is allegedly. No confirmation.
I
Never
love
been
my
proven in a
life.
court of law.
I
Not saying that the CIA is bad. I would never say that.
I have a great life. I love my life.
Have a great life. We all agree. The best life.
I live a bigly life.
Yeah. Like I'm full on life, dude. I love life. Come on. I would never divorce it like that. Okay. I'm cool.
We chilling, dude.
Yeah. Now Evan's suicidal. 100%.
With his headache, I am. Yeah, dude.
With his headache.
Dude, I'm telling you right now,
Yeah,
big dog,
dude.
if I could just fucking choke down a double barrel.
Now,
No,
I want to
I'm
give.
kidding.
I want to give just a couple details, and then we're gonna walk away from this. So, one thing I want to add is that no debunker explanation covers radar, EM effects, which is electromagnetic effects, and the multiple crafts. Celestial misidentification does not disable fighter jets. Because people try to say, "Oh, it's probably just a fucking star or glare." That doesn't disable your fucking jet and then mirror you the entire fucking
I know
time.
they're saying that Jupiter was on the horizon.
Well,
able to
I
be
guess
seen.
Jupiter was just shooting some fucking railgun laser beams
They're also saying that
from over there.
they're saying it was a Soviet spacecraft re-entry missile test.
Oh my god, this is the dumbest. The debunkers sometimes, like on credible cases like this. I get other ones, I really do, but on cases like this where there's no debunking this. There's no fighting. I'm sorry. You just got to take a loss.
Absolutely.
I know when to stay a loss. Stay in your lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
You lose, you lose.
if you're in
Sorry,
a
bud.
car that can't break 105 miles per hour, don't be getting in the left fucking pass lane, dude. If you're stuck going 50,
Don't get on the Autobahn, homie.
because they decided to try to go in the fast lane on a moped while everyone else is on the Autobahn with like Ferraris and fuel, race cars.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, bro. But yeah, and then on top of that, there's media theories. They try to use meteors. There are meteors,
They
really.
also try to use the plasma ball, lightning ball.
I didn't
thing
know a
again.
meteor would come down with multiple witnesses and illuminate an area and then hover and move around and then decide to take off again
I only know one that does that.
and go back to the star it originated
Three-Eye
from.
Atlas, dude.
Yeah, dude. 3-Eye Atlas is doing its thing, dude. Well, for all we know, this is probably 3-Eye Atlas's cousin.
It very, very could be.
Yo, dude, my cousin, little Jim Bob over there, he told me the Earth has got some wicked bodies.
I'm 3-eyed. That's Jim
So I'm
Bob.
coming in, but then I saw they got some weird kind of golden dome thing. I don't know, it just looks gold. I figured I'd call it a golden dome. And apparently it was done by a place called the United States. I'm just going to slingshot around the sun now. Not even going to come there. They don't look friendly. I'm here with fucking SpaceX. DJ Osiris is in the fucking house. Dude. The Anunnaki's coming back, guys. They're coming back with fucking SpaceX. And
you heard it here first.
That's why everyone's obsessed with vibrational frequencies back in the day, man. It's all about good jams, dude. That's why
DJ Osiris. Is Earth ready to party or what?
Dude, is it ready? Here's some SpaceX. You don't even have to take it. We already kind of threw it in the atmosphere.
We
We're all
come
having
here
a good
once
time.
every 2,000 years to throw the biggest rave you've ever seen.
Rave, we call them spraves, dude.
Gross.
Well, no, they call them craves for cosmic raves.
There we go.
Dude, let's have some craves, dude. You ever
I'd go to a crave.
You ever wonder why you get
I'm
the
getting
munchies?
hungry, dude.
You ever wonder why you get the munchies randomly? And you haven't been using the marijuanas? It's called the craves, dude. I swear to God, dude, if I ever wake up in the middle of the night, like hungry, and I'm going to go food eating at midnight, and all of a sudden I hear a yeah, like all that crap going on. It's like 90s freaking techno starts happening. I'm going to be like, oh shit, it's happening. The second coming.
I think that would be more welcomed than them just showing up and be like, yo, we are real.
Yeah, dude,
Here's
they
some
showed up with
technology.
like free hats and t-shirts and a fucking boombox.
Oh,
Dude. Beer too?
Oh my God, space beer? Could you imagine?
It's radioactive. Don't drink it. But hot damn, I want to at
Those
least
hops
look
are
at it.
refreshing.
Dude, that's some radioactive hops right there. Dude, it's cosmically unbalanced for your
Man,
body.
they got cosmic hops. This is like some serious cosmic-y.
This is a little bit too cosmic for me, guys. I'd prefer a little nebula drink on the side thing.
Are y'all ready to party? It's DJ Osiris and the Anunnaki. We came here with t-shirt cannons and glitter, dude.
They were pull up like a Fast and Furious, like in one of the scenes from the movie when they're all getting ready to race and it's like a party and everyone's out in the streets, sitting on their cars. That's what it needs to look like. Only with UFOs and cigar-shaped ones, the triangle-shaped ones, the other polygon-shaped ones that I have not listed.
The one
All
with a
of them,
circle
dude.
inside of a square floating around.
The one that morphs randomly and looks like a snake chasing a fucking dot in the sky. And if that's going on, that thing better be going to the beat. You know what I mean? Just doing its little wiggle and be like, look, it's wiggling its little butt.
Pick me up.
Yeah, dude. I got my space. I already got my. I have a bug out bag just for that. It's just a backpack.
It's got snacks and a change of underwear.
It's got some nicotine in it, change of pants. I bring my wallet just in case. What if I get like a fucking intergalactic space credit card? You know what I mean?
If there's a space
can cash
7-Eleven,
it in.
dude? They got space 7-Elevens, I guarantee it.
Dude, would they call them 7-Elevens though, or would they call it like
Space Infinity
Cosmic Way one-stop fuel?
or Cosmic Trip?
No, or they call it the Milky Way.
Oh,
You know
there
what
you
I
go.
mean? It's just a giant fuel hub, dude. It's just a big truck stop. That's all it is.
It's called the Cosmic Stop.
Yeah, dude. Remember how you got like Pizza Planet?
Yeah.
What if Toy Story was soft disclosure, dude?
Hold on, dude.
What
Hold
if,
on, dude.
What if
Hold
Toy
on,
Story was a
dude.
top
Hold
soft
on,
disclosure?
dude.
Pizza Planet's a real,
It's real
fucking
place.
thing. It is a real fucking place. What if it originated? What if why we have it now in our Earth, our world, our childhood? It also is actually a real place. You could go to a real Pizza Planet. I don't think it was called. I think it was called Planet Pizza. They just switched it around because of trademark,
Copyright.
copyright, TM. But what if the reason that was even put in place is because there really is a Pizza fucking planet?
Is it?
dude.
Is it like?
And those little aliens like the claw. What if they live on?
dude, what? Wait, is the?
I think we should whisper for this part.
Is the pizza planet globe? Slice. Is it flat?
Hope it's not too greasy.
Globe pizza before.
No, dude, they got them cold cuts of fucking salami up there, dude. Those are cosmic commies. That sounds like kamikaze. Cosmic salamis, dude. That's all I was trying to say.
I'm just trying to get to Pizza Planet, man. I want to gourd myself in cheese and sauce, baby.
Can you imagine extraterrestrial fucking cheese sauce,
Goopy
dude?
people.
I just thought of a Goofy movie where he's just like the one that's obviously a stoner and he's got this cheese whiz. He's like, yo, dude, they better be like that.
You know they are.
Dude, I show up and they like
they're playing hacky sack with meatballs.
Does that mean like if I show up and they do drugs, right? And they're smoking their equivalent of marijuana, would it be not disrespectful not to ensure that I have at least like a couple
taste,
like a couple nugs to share with Earth, or like the terrestrial weed with the alien weed? You know what I mean? What if you laced it together and it just transformed you?
Well, I mean,
what if that's how you become enlightened?
Just like any smoke out, you have to bring supplies to share supplies.
I figured it out. That's why they're all doing. That's why every like med plant or med shop you go to nowadays.
Roll the clip.
Whatever, you know, like in all these other states, like in Colorado and California, all that stuff, how they're like, yeah, dude, it's this one spliced with this one. What if they're not splicing it with another one? What if they're splicing it with alien weed?
Fun fact, that's where Italians are from. Play
Maybe
the
that's
clip.
why people are becoming more enlightened.
Listen to my joke, damn it.
I don't know jokes. I'm not funny.
We know that.
You tell me that all the fucking time, and so did, what was his name?
Doug.
Fuck you, Doug. Funny. I want to be funny.
Italians are intergalactic aliens who made pizza really well. And we have footage of it. Play the clip.
All right. I'm going
That's
to it,
the
dude.
joke. You're not.
I wasn't ready for that.
My name is.
What? My name is
the
Slim Shady.
The
it's
quality
gonna copyright
is
us
awful.
for this shit.
The quality is awful.
Oh, and they can't copyright us for this. This is old ass video, man.
Yeah.
That's public shit. Let's roll the clip, guys.
Well, can you cut it a little bit so they can't see it?
I can try. Let me
darken
do
the
that.
screen so they can't see this.
I need to move this over so I can see more. I need to move this over so I can. There we go. Let me just bring this in here. You guys don't need to see none of this stuff. Let me just bring it right up here. Papa, look at that. Flawless victory. Flawless. There we go.
They'll never know.
They'll never know. They'll never know. And let me unmute the audio. Where did it go? There we go. Voila.
Parviz Jafari, and I'm a retired general of
It's so
Iranian
quiet.
Air Force. At about 11 p.m. on the evening of 18 September 1976, citizens were frightened by circling of an unknown object over Tehran, the capital city of Iran, at a low altitude. It looked similar to a star, but bigger and brighter.
Only making noise to
They
stop
reported
copyright.
it to the tower and was seen by Towerman 2. He alerted the Air Force Command Post, and Deputy General Yousefi decided to scramble an F-4 jet to investigate. The pilot in the first jet lost instrumentation and communication when he got too close to the brilliant object, so he headed back. About 10 minutes later, they scrambled a second jet, which I was piloting. At the time, I was a squadron commander. I approached the object, which was flashing with intense red, green, orange, and blue. The light was so bright that I was not able to see its body. The sequence of flashes was extremely fast, like a strobe light. We locked on it with radar it was at 30 degrees left, at range of 25 miles. The size on the radar scope was comparable to that a 707 tanker. 4 other objects with different shapes separated from the main one at different times during this close encounter. Whenever they were close to me, my weapons were jammed and my radio communications were garbled. One of the objects headed toward me. I thought it was a missile. I tried to launch a heat-seeker missile to it, but my missile panel went out. Another followed me when I was descending on the way back. One of the separated objects landed in an open area radiating a high bright light in which the sands on the ground were visible. We could hear emergency squash at all the way, which was reported by other airliners flying at the time and continued for another couple of days. During my interview at headquarters, after the incident, the American Lieutenant Colonel Alan Moy took notes, but after it was over, I could not find him to talk with. Later, once classified document was released here in America through the Freedom of Information Act, the Defense Intelligence Agency documented the event in a great detail, and it was sent to NSA, the White House, and the CIA. The DIA assessment said this case is a classic that meets all necessary conditions for a legitimate study of the UFO phenomena. And I would be happy to answer questions and tell you more. Thank you.
We're not. We're back. We're back. We're back to being normal.
All right. I wanted to end it at that because I thought that it would be
What is
very
going on with
pertinent.
my thing? There we
I
go.
thought that'd be very pertinent to end with the actual guy
Yeah.
and in the discussion that he had back in 2007 after everything we talked about. So
Yeah.
you good?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it to auto switch to you. It stopped responding.
Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this to everybody you've ever met, everybody
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Can I just make one comment real quick? Oh, Jesus. There we go. Leave it. No, give me it. There we go. His haircut, dude.
I know his haircut was rough.
All those years of being in that jet took a whole strip out of the left side. Well, right side in our perspective, but in reality, it would have been on his left side unless that was a mirrored video. Then at that point, I do not know which side the landing strip's on. But holy hot damn.
Yeah, a heck of a haircut, dude. That was a
Thank
style
you
back
for
then.
watching Smartly Uneducated. I'm defaulting into Russian.
You
I can't
are.
do that.
Anyway, y'all have a wonderful week. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining us. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time.
Yep. Have a good one. Bye. 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 Yes. And it's not switching to my thing. So we're going to do it manually. Bye. There we go. It worked. Things are working again. Holy hot damn, is that loud. So loud. So loud.
Thank you for Sandra for subscribing over on Kick.
Thank you for subscribing. Bye.